Hi guys, happy Sunday with Satan. Alright, so yeah, I had a really weird night last night. Actually got to see two of my really good friends, three actually, which was really nice. But yeah, it was a rough night for the three of us. So it was nothing spiritual or anything like that. Just, I think the stomach bug's going around. I don't know. So yeah, onto the haunted dolls again, guys. I'm obsessed. I am honestly obsessed. And I'm looking for one. I am looking for a truly haunted as doll. I'm trying to watch my mouth. I'm trying to clean my mouth up. I don't know how long that'll last. But I really want a haunted doll. So if anybody has one that is truly haunted, that you can compare it to Annabelle, that'd be perfect. I will pay for it. So, with that being said, alright, there I found another haunted doll, and it's colonialghost.com. So I'm trying to understand how these dolls become, not possessed, but how they get something attached to them. So, and you don't really learn much from Ed and Lorraine Warren's snippets on YouTube. I mean, you do. You learn stuff from their perspective, from the demonologist perspective and the Catholicism perspective. But I really honestly want to know, how was Ed the only person ordained by the Catholic Church to perform an exorcism? How was he the only person in the world? No idea. Alright, so. Alright. We have tons of haunted dolls. So, where did I go? Alright, So yeah, one of the one of horror's most, iconic characters is Chucky from the film Child's Play. So in the Child's Play series, in a recently released film called Annabelle, she's everywhere. The dolls come to life and kill people. Oh, yeah. So the idea that a doll can come to life and kill someone is pretty creepy. Well, yeah. What's even more disturbing is that these haunted dolls are based off real dolls. Chucky? So people believe that these dolls are possessed by demons, and stories of them terrorizing both adults and children have been told for years. Yeah, when I was growing up, that is what I grew up with. Chucky, Poltergeist, all the originals, Poltergeist, Witchboard, all of it, all of the good stuff, Freddy, Jason, all of that stuff. So I didn't have Annabelle when I was little. I mean, sure, she was probably around, yeah, of course, because it was 1971, if that was the era when the, Annabelle case came to the Warrens, so I just probably didn't even, realize it, so. Alright, people believe that dolls are possessed by demons, and yeah, stories of them terrorizing adults and children. There's also been studies conducted to learn more about these dolls. I would really honestly like some scientific research. So, it just basically says the video below is a real night vision footage obtained during a study of a doll believed to be possessed. No manipulations were made. And it's HD paranormal. So I'm not sure about that. So if you happen to come across a haunted doll, be careful. They will try to harm you if provoked. So yeah. Alright, we have Robert the doll. This is the doll. Alright, so this is the best one right here. I like this one. We have Robert the doll, the most famous, and before Annabelle, the most famous of all these dolls is without a doubt Robert the doll. The toy has terrified people for over a century and was the inspiration for the iconic horror film character Chucky. So everything Chucky is based on Robert the doll. Wow. Alright, so this is interesting. So it says here, alright, the doll resembles an early 20th century American sailor and has become tattered throughout the years, giving it an uncanny appearance. Robert Eugene Otto, a painter and author who lived in Key West, Florida, was the owner of the doll. He acquired it in 1906 from a family servant who reportedly practiced the dark arts and voodoo. When she became angry with the family, she cursed the doll. So servants began hearing two voices coming from Otto's room. They assumed that the second voice was coming from the child. This, however, wasn't the case. I did not know Chucky was based on real life events. Robert the doll. Huh. Neighbors claimed to have seen the doll running around the house when the family wasn't home. That does sound like Chucky. The family began to catch glimpses of the doll running from room to room, messing everything up in the process. He would often smash vases and emit a terrifying giggle while doing so. I actually think it's pretty funny. I mean, it's cool. At night, Robert terrorized Otto by throwing his bedroom furniture around. When Otto's parents asked him to explain what happened, he claimed that Robert did it. Wow. Really? How? So when Otto grew up, he inherited his family's house and stashed the doll away in the attic. When he died in 1974, alright, so in 1971 came Annabelle. So this was prior to Annabelle. A new family moved into the home. They had a little girl who became the doll's new owner. Terrifying things began happening to them. So the girl began screaming in a terror at night when she would see Robert scurrying around her bedroom. So on some occasions, he would even attack her. There's got to be something behind this. Alright, so the doll is now on display at the Fort East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida. Visitors from all over the world come to look at the famous doll. Alright, I wonder if it's... I don't know. I don't know. This is just really cool. So legend has it that if someone takes a photo of the doll without asking permission first, the doll will curse them. In order to lift the curse, they must write a letter of apology. Sounds like a chain letter. So, letters that have been written throughout the years on display at the museum. Probably a museum gimmick, but guests claim that they have seen Robert blink or even change his facial expressions before their eyes. So children do have active imaginations. However, how could a child move a large pieces of furniture by themselves? Also, adults, not just children, have claimed to have seen the doll move. Is the doll possessed by a demon, or is it possible that every single witness that has claimed to have seen the doll move is crazy? I wouldn't say that everybody's crazy. I'm blurry. But I don't know. Maybe it's just like mass energy going into these dolls to actually think, okay, they're really possessed, or something has attached itself, or... I'm just really, really curious. Now I want a Robert the doll. If it's based off Chucky, because I love Chucky. Who doesn't? Now we have, Annabelle again. So this is probably a different information. So another well-known doll is Annabelle, who looks like any other Raggedy Ann doll, but doesn't act like one. Annabelle was given to a girl named Donna as a gift from her mother in 1970. The college student and her roommate Angie. I loved the doll. And it was kept in Donna's room. At first the doll was normal, but after some time the doll started to switch positions or move around in the apartment when the girls weren't looking. As the weeks went by, the doll's movements began to increase. Notes that read, "Help me," started to appear on parchment paper. The strangest thing, however, was that neither of the girls ever bought parchment paper. I can only guess how expensive real parchment paper was back then. So, yeah. So the girls were in denial, but their friend Lou was convinced that something was wrong with the doll. So the last straw was when Donna awoke in her bed to find Annabelle next to her. When she turned on the light, a red substance that looked like blood was leaking from the doll. Okay, I understand that because of my Baphomet statue still crying. So, terrified, the girls decided to call a medium to solve the problem. The medium reported that a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins was buried below the apartment, and her spirit possessed the old doll. Annabelle said that she felt safe with Donna and Angie and asked if she could stay with them. When they agreed, things got worse. Ooh. Not only did Annabelle continue to move on her own, but Lou began to have nightmares. In his nightmares, Annabelle would crawl up his leg and try to strangle him. Alright, so now I'm seeing everything in the Conjuring and the Annabelle universe up here. So then one night, when Lou and Angie were planning on a road trip, they heard a noise coming from Donna's room. Lou went to check it out, only to discover that the room was empty. After noticing Annabelle on the floor, he got the strange feeling that someone was behind him. But when he turned around, no one was there. It was at this moment that deep cuts were made to Lou's chest. He doubled over in pain, bleeding on the floor. The 7 claw marks on Lou's chest healed in just 2 days. It's very odd. It's very, very odd. So the girls reached out for a second opinion. They contacted a priest. So the priest obviously reached out to Ed and Lorraine Warren, who were well-known paranormal experts at that time. The Warrens discovered that the girls were tricked. Annabelle wasn't possessed by a ghost, but by a demon who wanted to take possession of Donna's soul. Donna decided to get rid of the doll, so the Warrens took it to investigate further. The doll immediately began causing trouble for the couple. Not only did they have car problems on their way home, just like an Annabelle Comes Home, but the doll began to levitate and continue to move around on its own in their home. Currently, Annabelle is on display at the Warrens Occult Museum in Moodus, Connecticut. The Warrens placed her in a glass case that they doused in holy water, and she remains there ever since. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. Now maybe my Baphomet is going to be the first whatever statue to cry. I don't know. Alright, so now we have Mandi the doll. I like these. I really like these. These are just, I mean, it's very interesting to me. I mean, very, very interesting. So, another doll located in the Queensell Museum in British Columbia is known as Mandi. The owner donated the porcelain doll in 1991 because she was so terrified of it. She told the curators that she would hear crying at night, which apparently ceased when she gave the doll away. When Mandi was given to the museum, the strange phenomena continued. So if she was around other dolls, they'd be destroyed. After placing her in a room, museum employees found papers scattered all over the place, almost as if the doll had a tantrum. Objects such as office supplies, books, papers, pens, etc., and lunches would disappear. She was hungry. And if they were found, they'd be in an entirely different place from where they were initially. Also, batteries in electronics drained quickly, and film equipment would stop working if anyone tried to capture the doll. People claimed to hear footsteps in the museum when no one was around. If you don't believe the employees, many visitors claim to have seen the doll move or have seen its eyes blink or follow them. That's really, 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 really neat. I mean, that would be so neat just to go visit these dolls and just kind of see. I really honestly hope the, trip to Connecticut happens, because I really want to see the Annabelle doll in life. Alright, and we have a doll called Papa. And it's Italian, so Papa, an Italian doll constructed in the 1920s. Oh, wow. She looks like my doll. Okay. There's Papa. Right there. Alright, she's a very tiny doll. A very tiny doll. I don't know when this one was constructed, but she calls herself Lily. Notice any kind of resemblances? The eyes. Okay, that's strange. That is a little strange. Alright, so Papa. Okay, it was made to resemble her owner, so the two were very close, and the owner would often say that the doll spoke to her, and Lily speaks to me, so this is kind of hitting home. Alright, so when the owner died in 2005, the family stored Papa in a glass case. It was at this point that the bizarre phenomena began. The doll's facial expressions and standing positions seemed to change without anyone touching her. She reportedly moves objects around in her display case and taps on the glass. When people turn around, her hands are pressed against it. Okay, so this doll moves. Mine doesn't. So the case has been steamed white with the words "Papa Hate" written on it. Ooh. People believe that the doll is trying to get out of her case, but refuse to grant her wish. Alright, so other haunted dolls. So there are many other dolls throughout the world that people believe to be haunted or possessed. For example, people claim that the hair on a Japanese doll called Okiku grows on its own. Also, a painting called "The Hands Resist Him" features a little boy and his doll that move on their own. When adults look at it, they get sick. When children look at it, they run away screaming. Okay. So remember, kids, if a doll ever asks you to play with it, just say no. Wow, that's really different. That's pretty cool. I mean, wow. That's really, 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 really interesting stuff right there, especially for the doll. I mean, that is amazing right there. Huh. Right now we have a woman who claims that a haunted doll attacked her boyfriend after becoming possessed. So this just keeps getting more interesting. Yes, I accept, whatever. Oh, so her name is Claro? So, the Peruvian woman, identified only by her first name, Berliz, claims that the doll named Daisy also slashed her face. That's a pretty creepy looking doll. There's a video too, you can find her on YouTube. It's pretty evil looking. So, okay. Alright, now a woman claims that her creepy doll was so jealous of her boyfriend that it beat him up so badly that he left her. So, identified only by her first name, Berliz, from Calo in Peru, she said the doll named Daisy even slashed her face in a rage, making her scared to get rid of it. Berliz said that the doll can move by itself and also gets up to mischief, making it seem as if other people are walking around the house. So she also claims it has poltergeist-like powers, which it uses to knock things over. So, Berliz told local media that her mother gave her the creepy doll as a Christmas present, but then it suddenly lost its hair one day, after she decided to put it in a plastic bag. So here is the doll, wow, with the hair missing. Kind of looks like Trump. Sorry, but it's true, it does. Yeah, that's pretty creepy. So, a medium talking with the doll, yeah, alright. So, Berliz said she decided to place it facing the wall. However, when she woke up, she saw that the doll had turned its head and was looking at her. And there apparently are other, bizarre occurrences as well. I think that's pretty interesting. So she said, one day a bright light suddenly shone and my Bible fell down from the TV. I started to cry and the light turned off and I saw shadows around me. I was only 18 and my dad hugged me, and when the light came on, my face was covered with cuts. She claims that the doll forced her boyfriend to leave her because it grabbed and beat him while he was sleeping. She's a pretty creepy looking doll. Wow. So, alright, Berliz said that the same thing happened to her cousin, who went to have a lie down in her room, but also ran out after allegedly being attacked by the doll. Alright, so it's a very protective doll, like a guard dog, like a chihuahua. I think that's kind of what demons are. These negative things, a big bite. So, the young Peruvian, who is now a mother, has decided to keep the doll away from the house in case something bad happens to her baby. She also decided to get a black cat to balance the negative energy left by the doll. But it's too scared to throw it away. According to the distressed woman, a clairvoyant told her that the cats are very sensitive to energy, as Berliz's feline tends to stay under the chair where the doll also kept rather than lying in front of it. So the chilling doll is reminiscent of Charles Lee Chucky Ray character, who is the main villain of the Child's Play slasher films. How is he connected? How is that connected to Chucky? That's weird. So we have that doll. It's weird. So now we have, why do demons choose dolls as conduits? Featuring, of course, Annabelle. Can't get away from her, she's everywhere. Okay, so, alright, so this is posted by Robert Schwartz on June 28th, 2018. Okay, so here we go. So, both my limited horror movie knowledge, I recently watched The Conjuring and Annabelle, and years spent raiding paranormal odds and ends, I know that, at least according to paranormal folklore, demons do not possess dolls. Instead, they often use them as conduits, like puppets, to lure humans in. But why dolls specifically? That's exactly what I want to know. Perhaps it's the same reason people have the fear of dolls, known as pedophilia. Pediophobia. This is itself a kind of a subphobia of something called, automatonophobia, which is the fear of anything that looks human but isn't, like dolls, robots, puppets, and animatronics. That's why the territory of the uncanny valley. So, but the same thing that makes the people fear dolls is possibly the very reason many like them. They remind us of us. So, demons, if they do exist, would use that to their advantage. In the story of Annabelle, which was originally an old Raggedy Ann doll, a demon allegedly attempted to possess one of its owners. But first, it had to lure them in and gain their acceptance. So it did this by using the doll, changing its position, and moving it throughout the apartment, pretending to be the spirit of a young girl who attached herself to it. Alright. So the combination of a humanoid doll and the sad story of a spirit looking for a home made the owners sympathetic, caused them to unwittingly welcome a demonic entity into their lives, risking their very souls. I don't think you can actually risk your soul. I don't think that's even possible. So, so the story goes. So the Conjuring series features Annabelle the haunted doll, though its appearance is changed to something more outwardly creepy and porcelain, which I really like. I like that. I love the porcelain Annabelle, but I also like the old Raggedy Ann doll. So I don't know. I wouldn't even know if a doll is haunted, I don't think. So Annabelle's twin visits Scotland. Alright, so all of that said, if the demonic MO is to use dolls to capture human souls, perhaps it'd be better for everyone involved if the following is a hoax. So, this month, the above footage of an allegedly haunted doll appeared online, and while most people believe it's an obvious hoax, I can't help but find its story entertaining enough to share. So, the current owner, who manages a charity shop in Scotland, found it inside of a bag along with a bunch of old toys. As a part of a house clearance, it came with a number of other boxes, within which she said contained an array of oddities from around the world. So, but this item in particular immediately caught his attention, an old Raggedy Ann doll, the very same type as Annabelle. Excited to show his fellow volunteers, he rushed downstairs to tell them. That's when things got weird. Alright, so he says, I placed her on the floor with her arms on her knees and went down to tell my volunteers what I had found. When I came back, her arms were at her sides. So, this he found a bit spooky. And even after repositioning the doll, it seemed to be able to move on its own. What's more, the doll had a strange effect on people. Everyone that touched the doll felt uneasy and sick, he wrote. So there is footage of this. So the above footage was captured the video following day, on June 21st of 2018. According to the video's description, for most of the day the doll did not move, at least not while being filmed. However, near the end of the day, with the camera rolling, the old Raggedy Ann's arm appeared to shift downward, and the camera mysteriously fell back. So this can be seen at the beginning, approximately 2 minutes and 39 seconds in the video. So he says, as I said, there's not a whole lot to prove it's actually haunted. A single clip, a low camera angle, a sudden fade to black. The fact that the fabric on the doll's shirt moves before the arm itself likely implies the use of a string. But since it's just the mood I'm in, for now I can sit neatly on the growing pile of online haunted doll videos. Why not? Huh. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, that is really interesting stuff. It really, truly is. So that's just, I mean, Robert the doll, I can't believe that it's based off of Chucky, or Chucky's based off Robert the doll. Then we have the Annabelle doll, we have Mandi the doll. We have a lot of dolls going on here. A lot of dolls, and that's really cool. I mean, that is really, really, really neat. So yeah, there's not, I mean, I don't know. So we have possession, so it's just, I mean, we have possessed dolls. So the idea of dolls and other children's toys becoming possessed has been getting rather popular in the past 20 or 30 years due to the growing number of movies based on the subject. It's also a subject that is hard to find information about. Yes, it is. Especially on the internet, because I've been looking, so let's talk a bit about it. So a lot of the time the doll or toy is not actually possessed. It is being played with by a ghost or a child, whether the toy used to belong to the spirit or it is the toy of a living child. So this is called spirit attachment, and it is often confused with actual doll possession. Okay, did I just get a little dark? I don't know. So it goes on to say, until I recently, I didn't really believe in actual doll possession. I read an old eBay auction from last year of a doll that really creeped me out. This woman bought the doll from an antique shop, thinking it was adorable, and took it home. At first she would wake up finding the doll out of the box. So next, her keys would mysteriously become displaced. When she was at work one day, her landlord had heard a horrible wailing and sounded like it was coming from a small child. The woman locked the doll in her closet and stayed with a friend for a week. When she got back, everything in her apartment had gotten destroyed. The doll was sitting on the floor with a slight grin on its face. Isn't that creepy? Yeah. Alright, anyway, the doll turned out to belong to a little girl that had died of a mysterious disease, and it seemed like her spirit dwelt inside the doll. The possessed doll was sold for around $100 or so. Wow. Yeah, these dolls are very expensive. He says, I don't remember the exact price, but I did save the exact item description and picture from the auction. I emailed the woman asking her for permission to post the exact description and picture on my site, but haven't gotten yet a response. Still, it's very interesting how they become possessed. So when it comes to possessed objects, just about anything can become possessed. Dolls are just more often possessed than other objects. This could be due to the fact that many people become very attached to their dolls, especially the ones we have had since youth. If someone dies and their spirit remains in the realm of the living, it makes sense that some of those spirits would want to attach themselves to their most favorite possession they had in life, which in many situations is a doll of some kind. When these items come into people's lives, they often are tied in with other paranormal phenomena, such as shadow ghosts, bodily scratches of unknown origin, and demons. They are also tied in with non-paranormal things such as nightmares, bad luck, and sicknesses. Sometimes simply removing the possessed object or destroying it will stop the unwanted phenomena. Exorcisms can also be effective, but are only done in the more severe cases. Other cleansing rituals may be effective. So, I don't understand how. So, alright, so there are a handful of characteristics that are all genuine possessions will have. So the first is speaking in languages that the person being possessed had never learned or is familiar with. The possessed will speak with anger, hatred, and even cursing. That's just me. Another trait of true possession is the levitation of objects and even the possessed themselves. Many poltergeist occurrences are confused with demonic possession because of objects being levitated and being hurled about. Super strength is another trait of the possessed, or becoming stronger that the victim is known to be. When a person has an evil spirit or demon inside of them, any religious symbol or item that is considered holy will anger and enrage them. And enrage the unwanted entities. Holy water will cause great pain and burning to the victim of any real demonic possession. Lastly, demons and actually many spirits, from what I've been noticing through research, seem to know a great deal about the past, present, future, and all kinds of information. So, the demons will use the information to throw off and distract the ones giving the exorcism, and also to cause more suffering to those who close to the those who are close to the victim, such as a family and friends. So there are, of course, many that do not accept even the possibility of a person becoming possessed by spirits or demons. I don't think, honestly, I don't know. So, even when the signs are all there, so those closed-minded individuals will find other ways to diagnose what is happening to the victim. Some blame what is happening to the possessed on epilepsy. Okay, that was taken from Emily Rose. Another is multiple personalities and also hysteria. Because many fear what they do not understand, they will often hide from it, or cover it up in some way. So what is strange is that back in the day, everyone seemed to believe in possession. But we've come a long way. We've come a really long way from all of that. So, back in the Middle Ages or medieval times, everyone believed in demonic possession, or at least most. Christians of those days seem to be very paranoid, and of course, we're not educated as people today. So if someone was acting different in some way, or had believed in something that the church did not agree with, it was automatically blamed on demonic possession. So if something went wrong, like the loss of crops or livestock, or other major misfortunes, it was to be blamed on a witch, a witch conjuring up the devil. Yeah. For some reason, people went from paranoia to over-skeptical when there should be a better balance of the two. I don't know. It's interesting, though. That's very interesting. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think? I'm not 100% sure what to think about that one. Very different, that's for sure. Very different, but still I kind of want to know more. I want one. It's just odd. It's very odd. It's becoming an obsession, and I think it's going to be unhealthy after too long. So I'm gotta cool it big time. So those are some really interesting cases of demonic, well, not demonic, but possessed dolls, or, demonic attachments to dolls and that sort of thing. So, alright guys, I hope you enjoy. I hope you guys are enjoying this journey with me. I love you all. Happy Sunday with Satan, and I will see you guys tomorrow. So, all my love, all the way from Venus. All the way back down. And I will see you all tomorrow. So everybody have a good day. And I love you all. And thank you guys for watching.